Alright, hello, welcome back. We're on the second day of Unit 5. I just recorded this video and then it disappeared. So now we're recording it for the second time. I'm going to try and be as cheerful as the first one, but I don't know if it'll happen. Alright, so yesterday we worked on tables and determining whether it was linear, exponential, or neither. And then we also took an exponential table and tried to determine what its multiplier was, what I was multiplying by each and every time. So today is all about the equation. So we're going to be using our knowledge from yesterday with determining what the multiplier is and apply that to be able to create an exponential equation. So for exponential equations, similar to our y equals mx plus b equation, x just represents some x coordinate that we don't know yet. And the same goes for y. Y just represents some y coordinate, some number, some y value on our y-axis, and we just don't know what that number is yet. Now, a and b are our key things for today, and a and b are what we need to know how to find. So a is our starting value, or our y-intercept, and we find this where x equals 0, it's whatever our y value is. So key thing for starting value, it's when x is 0, what that y value is, that's the starting number, because remember that's where our graph is crossing that y-axis. And then b, that's actually what we worked on yesterday, so we already know how to find b, and that's our multiplier. Okay, now with exponential equations, the key thing is that the x is in the exponent. So we have two examples here. Again, x we see up top to the right as our exponent, so we should see that in our equations, x up top in the exponent. That's what makes it an exponential equation, the fact that the x is in the exponent. Yes, x is over and over and over again. Non-examples would be this one and this one because x is not in the exponent. So this is not exponential. They are non-examples. All right, let's go ahead and put this to use. So we have a table here, and we're going to create its exponential equation. So first thing we're going to find is a, our starting value. We're going to start with our starting value. So again, remember that's where x is 0. Whatever my y value is, that's my starting value. So x is 0. So that means my starting value is 1. And then now we'll do our multiplier. So this is what we did yesterday. We're going to figure out what we're multiplying by over and over again as we go down our y's. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and 1/2 times 2 is 1. So my multiplier here is 2. And then now we can create our equation. Y equals, we started with our starting value, and that's what comes first in our equation. Our starting value comes first, or A comes first, just like it does in the alphabet. And then our multiplier, B, comes after A, which was 2. And then we have our exponent x. And voila, that is the equation for this one. So this one thing I want us to remember from yesterday is that as my numbers increase, remember that means that this would be a growth table. This would be that graph where my line skyrockets towards the sky. Now, if I were to just give you this equation, I could tell you just by looking at this that this is a growth, that this is an exponential growth, because this number is greater than 1. And then on the other side of things, we have the decay, like we talked about yesterday. here we can see that my numbers are getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So this is that decay kind of table. So just like on the last one, we're going to start with our starting value, where x is 0, a is 2, and then now we find our multiplier. So from the lesson previous, remember, if right away we notice my numbers are getting smaller, that means my multiplier is a fraction. And then now we need to determine what goes in the denominator. And remember, to do that, we can just work our way backwards. So we're going to figure out what my multiplier is going backwards, and that's the denominator of my actual multiplier. So 1 times what gives me 2? 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So here my multiplier is 1/2. And now we can create our equation. Y equals, start with A, B comes after A, and then we have our exponent. Do not forget that exponent. This is an exponential equation. We need the exponent. Okay? And now let's compare. So again, I said I knew that this, just by looking at this equation here, if I didn't have the table, I could tell you that this was a growth because this number right here was greater than 1. Likewise, just looking at this equation right here, if I gave you this, if you see a fraction or a decimal here that's less than 1, that tells you immediately this is a decay. My number should be decreasing. My number should be going down because my multiplier is less than 1. All right, and then one last example, and then you can work on independent practice. So we have, there's an outbreak of a zombie virus at a Cole High School. Initially, just one person is infected. We got Victor is a zombie. And then each person after that infects 3 people each day. So we start with Victor. Victor infects 3 people. Let's say Maria, Carolina, Riley. Okay. Now so we have 3 new zombies. Now each of these 3 are going to infect 3 more. So Carolina infects 3, Maria infects 3, that's 6, and then Riley infects 3, that's 9. And then each of those 9 new zombies will infect 3 more new zombies. So write an equation that can be used to predict the number of zombies. So find your starting value, find your multiplier, and create your equation. Pause me now and come back after you attempt this problem. Okay, we started with just one zombie, Victor. So my starting value is 1. And then now my multiplier, as we go down this table, we're multiplying by 3 each time. So my multiplier is 3. Now we could have even solved this without the table. I tell you in the story problem that there is only 1 person infected. So that's our 1 starting value. And then I tell you that each of those new zombies infects 3 new people. 3 is your multiplier, because that 1 will infect 3, and then those 3 will infect 3 more each. Okay, now I want you to try this. So if we had 2 students that were turned into zombies initially, so we had 2 zombies initially, how would that equation change? And explain why. Pause me now, see if you can say what would we change about our equation and why. All right, so how would it change? Well, we're starting with 2 people now instead of just Victor. Starting with, so that's changing our starting value. So our new equation is going to change to this. And that is because we are starting with 2 instead of 1. So change your A value to 2. So again, because we changed it to 2 initially, we changed that starting value. If I said each zombie infects 5 people, what would I change? The 1 or the 3? The 3. The 3 would become our 5, because instead of infecting 3 people, they're infecting 5. That would become our multiplier. Okay, go ahead and start your independent practice. You have a couple to work on. The first one is just simply what is the starting value. The next one is actually starting and creating those equations. Again, be very careful on those ones that are decreasing. Remember that needs to be a fraction. And then remember that is it linear or exponential or neither? For linear, you're looking for a pattern of adding the same number each time or subtracting the same number each time. Exponential is multiplying each time. And then neither would be like if you were adding 2 and then all of a sudden subtracting 2 and then maybe adding 1, and there's just not a pattern, and you're not adding or subtracting or multiplying by the same thing consistently. Okay, give it a try. And you have the answer key to see how you're doing. Fix any ones that you are getting wrong and message me with any questions you may have. Message me if you want extra help, and message me when you're done so I can update your grade. Have a great day.